How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is an awesome book. Highly recommend that everybody read it because there's just so much to take away from the book, but it's such a simple read. It's the readability is very simple. A child could read this book and walk away with something. And there's quite a bit to take away from it. And that's really what this video is about. Is I did my top 3 takeaways from the book. The book was written by Dale Carnegie. He was an American writer and lecturer. And pretty much everything that I've read by Dale Carnegie has been really good. If you want to be disliked, you should complain and criticize people a lot. Criticizing people doesn't usually have any positive results. People don't like to be criticized. Even if you are completely validated in your criticism, it's pointless because as humans we justify our actions. Even criminals justify their actions because it's human nature. A murderer may say, "Yeah, I killed my wife. She wasn't faithful to me." We always have a reason for what we did, even if what we did was wrong. Human nature is to blame everyone but yourself. When you criticize people, they become defensive and they try to justify themselves. Humans are motivated by 2 things, pride and vanity. When you criticize someone, you're hurting their pride, and you're making them resent you because people are emotional and they're not logical. As much as men like to think they're the logical sex, men are emotional too. Let's assume your goal in criticism is a positive one, and you're just trying to get someone to change for the better. Let's be honest though, most of the time we criticize for reasons that are less than genuine. But even if you are genuine, your criticism is not likely to result in lasting changes. Constructive criticism has its place, but if it's not going to do what you intended, is there any point in criticizing? If there is, you should be very judicious with your criticism, or just don't criticize at all. Something to remember before you criticize is that you do not know what another person's circumstances are in life. Maybe you see a homeless person asking for money, and instead of helping him, you say, "Get your life together, get a job." But chances are that if you had lived your life under the same circumstances that the homeless man did, you would be in the exact same situation he is. Who you are is a product of many things. Your looks, your IQ, the way you were raised. These are just a few of the things that make you who you are. But you deserve very little, if any, credit for those things. If you are an attractive or smart person, you immediately have an advantage that you did nothing to earn. So in the same way that you deserve little credit for what you are, others deserve very little discredit for what they are. That's not to say that we don't have a responsibility to better ourselves, or that we aren't responsible for our actions. But it is to say that you don't know all the details of why someone is in the position that they are in. You have your own problems to work on. So worry less about other people and worry about yourself. If you want to make people really dislike you, complain and criticize. So first we talked about how to be disliked. Now we're going to talk about how to be liked. Most people love dogs and hate people. Why is that? Because people are self-absorbed and critical. A dog is neither of those things. Dogs love unconditionally. A dog doesn't care how you look, how much money you have, or what you think about him. He's just excited to see you when you get home and it makes you feel great. If you want people to love you, you have to love them first. That's hard to do, especially if somebody's treating you like trash. But the key is to ignore your instincts to fight fire with fire. If you are kind, loving, and generous with people, especially people that don't treat you right, you're going to make an impression. Focus less on what somebody may be thinking of you and focus more on your actions towards the person. Make people feel like you are excited to meet them. If you want people to have a good time meeting you, then you need to decide that you're going to have a good time meeting people. One simple way to tell someone that you're happy to see them is simply to smile. If we are going to treat others how they want to be treated, we need to think about what it is that they want. In general, there are 2 things people have a desire for: to be great and to be appreciated. If you think about it, we all want that in some way. That's why you try to wear the trendiest clothes, that's why you want to drive a cool car, and that's why you want to talk about all your accomplishments. Some people will do crazy things to get attention and just to feel important. We live in a society where it seems like everyone is going insane. Maybe that's just their way of trying to get attention, to be noticed. Catering to these desires is not a difficult thing to do. You can easily appreciate someone or make them feel important by passing a simple compliment or laughing at their joke. People are starving for appreciation, to be noticed. Invest more time in people by having conversations. A lot of people don't want to have conversations because they feel like they don't have anything interesting to say. But the number one thing that makes a good conversationalist is not your ability to tell stories, but to listen. People generally don't want to hear what you have to say anyways, but they love having someone that is interested in what they are saying. Ask people questions about themselves and get them talking. Most people are selfish and self-serving, so you can really stand apart with kindness and servitude. Most of the time, you should avoid arguments. Arguments rarely end with a positive outcome. Typically, neither party has an open mind and both walk away more firmly convinced they are right. In the process of the argument, you're hurting the other person's pride by telling them they are wrong. If you tell a man he is wrong to his face, no amount of logic or facts will change his mind. He may be wrong, but he thinks he's right, and you have to be sympathetic to that. Disagreements and discussions are good, but try to keep them from becoming arguments. You also shouldn't be so prideful that you assume you are right about everything. You're human just like everybody else. You have biases, prejudice, preconceptions, fear, envy, and pride. Always welcome disagreement, because you may get a point of view that you haven't thought of before. Go into a discussion looking to learn. You don't have it all figured out. If you find yourself in a disagreeable situation, don't lose your temper or react in a defensive manner. Listen first and let the other person finish talking before giving your perspective. Let them feel they have said their piece uninterrupted, and remember that being friendly goes a long way. To be antagonistic in a disagreement may make you feel important, but it is not likely to help you persuade the other person. And isn't that what you're trying to do? In conclusion, I felt like these were excellent ideas from Dale Carnegie's book. They seem so simple, but not so easy when you try and put them into action. To some, these things may come naturally. To others, you may have to work at it. Read the book for some more awesome insights. Thanks for watching.